RosenRoofing.com.
The best quality for the right price when it comes to men's and young men's wear today. You need to head to M&K. There are 2 locations in Memphis, 4696 American Way at Perkins and 3719 Hickory Hill at Winchester. You can also check them out on their Facebook page. Hey guys, at M&K, they have all of the right gear for the right event at the right price. M&K has all of the latest fashions when it comes to suits, shirts, shoes, pants, casual wear, and accessories. Big and tall guys, no problem.
Hey,
We have sizes ranging from
I had trouble getting on
all the way up to
today. Hey,
62.
Susan.
And we can also outfit
We'll be able to finish out the show at
Again,
least.
for the best quality for the right price, you need to
Hey, Dana, if you can invite Amanda in, I invited her in, but
719 Hickory Hill or 46
what a game, what a game.
American
Thank you,
Way.
Susan.
That's M&K.
We're about to come back from commercial.
CJ Used Appliances, located at 3530 Jackson Avenue here in Memphis, Tennessee. Call them at 901-487-7882. CJ Used Appliances has the best prices in town. Sales and service, heating and air. Also the best appliances you'll find anywhere in the Mid-South. Refrigerators, microwave stoves, washers and dryers, deep freezers.
What's up, T-Free?
dishwashers, whatever you need in used appliances. And folks will tell you they're the best used appliances anywhere you'll find. That's CJ Used Appliances, 3530 Jackson Avenue. All appliances come with warranty. You can call them at 901-487-7882. Again, 901-487-7882.
What's going on, everybody? We're on a commercial break. We'll be right back. About to get started. Hey, welcome back. It's Sports Hour with Ace. Good Monday morning to everyone. I'm your host, Andrew Vanelli, also known as Ace. I'm in here with Josh. Today's presented and featured sponsor is the Sheffield Antiques Mall at 684 West Poplar in Collierville. 300 dealers bring an awesome collection of all things chic, unique, and antique. Merchandise for the discerning collector, the casual shopper, and those looking for amazing gifts can find it all at Sheffield Antiques Mall. Also, the legendary cuisine of Ronnie Grisani's is available for lunch Monday through Saturday and fine evening dining Thursday through Saturday. Sheffield Antiques is a totally unique experience where the past meets the present. You can call 901-853-7822 or go to www.sheffield-antiques.com. Call into the show today, 901-452-3094. 452-3094. Call into the show. We're talking a little bit about the Memphis Tigers, talking about the week in college football, the week in NFL football. What's up with the SEC? So many teams are down this year. UT. All the fans are calling for Butch Jones' head. I would be too. He doesn't give the ball to John Kelly. First and goal at the 9. He's playing for a field goal, it looks like. I mean, he's not really playing for a field goal, but he's why throw? And then they tie the game. And I don't know if Florida was surprised that when they came out, I think that Florida was going to run the clock out. But when they realized Tennessee wasn't in a prevent, I think they probably made the call from the sideline and decided to let's air this thing out. I don't think Tennessee knew that freshman could throw the ball 65 yards in the air. I don't know. That's just speculation. But everybody's calling for Butch Jones' head. They're calling for Barry Odom's head in Missouri. They're calling for Kevin Sumlin's head in Texas A&M. And it's going to be the team that bites first. Brett Bielema in Arkansas. It's good. Once one goes, you're going to see a domino effect because they're going to start going after the hot guys. I mean, look at what's his name in Purdue, Jeff Brom in Purdue, and what he's doing. I mean, if I'm one of these SEC ADs, and I'm thinking about firing my coach, that's who I'm going after. Him. I'm going after Mike Norvell. I hate to say that. That's scary to say, but do not be surprised if Mike Norvell ends up at A&M or Arkansas or Missouri.
I was thinking about that. Even ironically, Tennessee. If Tennessee decides.
Yeah. Hey.
I know they're looking right down the state and salivating at the fact of what he could do
right.
in Vaughn Orange,
Oh, man, I would be sick.
Me too.
I would be sick. I don't even want to think about that.
Me either.
You just made me think about something that I don't want to think about. Golly. If UT named Mike Norvell as the head coach in the next 7 months, I don't know what I'd do. Anyways, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the Tigers beating UCLA. All the big guys stepped up. Last week we talked about it. Tim Hart. We talked about O'Brien Goodson. We talked about T.J. Carter. We talked about all the young guys on defense. Austin Hall. They needed to step up. And that the difference in the game would be, the defense that made more plays. I knew it was going to be a shootout. I knew it was going to be tight all the way out. And the Tigers pulled it out. We got Dana calling in. Hey, Dana, what's going on?
Hey, I'm so excited about those Tigers. How about that game, Andrew?
Unbelievable. I'm so excited, too. It was a huge win. People ask me, was it the same as the Ole Miss game in 2015? It was. I mean, it was close, but it wasn't that intense. But I don't want to take anything away from the Tigers. I'm so proud of them. I was a fan. I've been a fan my whole life. You know that.
Absolutely. And everyone on the team, to me, gave 110 out there. I was so proud of Riley Ferguson. I couldn't believe how well we did against UCLA. As you and I talked, I was it's going to be a close game, Andrew. I'm not real sure, but I was just in awe of how we played. I loved the little trick plays. I was just real concerned when one of our kids got injured out there. That hit was so hard.
It was. I heard it.
He sacrificed his body for that hit. But,
well, they say those kickoffs are dangerous. That's the most dangerous part of the game, and he just got blindsided. It happened to me several times when I played in high school. It happened 2 or 3 times. But he's okay. J.J. Russell, it's okay. Linebacker J.J. Russell.
I found that out actually last night, but I was real excited about it, and I just thought we played awesome.
We did.
And, I mean, the fans were great. Everything was awesome.
Yeah.
I had some friends that came in from UCLA.
I know. I saw there was quite a few UCLA. I mean, that's a long trip to make, But there was 2,000 or 3,000 fans there.
Dalton skipped the Alabama game. Of course, it was Colorado State. We won't talk about that. I don't think we looked well against them. But anyway, Alabama needs to tighten up a little.
Well, he's just not trying to show too much. That game doesn't matter. The SEC is what matters, and Nick Saban knows that. And he's just doing what he doesn't want to show. He ain't going to go to the playbook for teams like Colorado State. And Colorado State's not as bad as you think. I mean, they beat.
No, they're really not.
They beat Oregon State by 30. That was one of my first plays of the year. As a matter of fact, they played an Oregon State team who's got a decent quarterback. They hung 50-something on them, beat them by 30 points. So it's not like Colorado State's bad. They'll go to a bowl this year. They'll be a bowl. They'll be 7-5, 8-4.
You and Josh hit on something that made me nervous about Norvell, because I'm telling you, the way that game was. I hope he stays here. I think he will.
He won himself a ton of money. I tell you that. I mean, you can't turn the money down. You can't. When an SEC team comes calling, and I would guess A&M or Arkansas, A&M makes the most sense geographically, considering that he came from Arizona State. He recruited all of Texas at Arizona State as the assistant head coach. And I mean, so that's right next door. He's back in kind of his stomping ground. Not his stomping ground, but I mean, he recruited Texas. He recruited Oklahoma. He recruited Arizona. He recruited the Southwest. And so that would make more sense. But I mean, anywhere would make sense for him. He's a hell of a coach.
Miller, man, our boy Ant, man, that was unbelievable. One of those catches, I was just like, oh my God, how did he do
Anthony? Yeah. He's a second-round pick. I mean, I don't know how. He's a third-round pick for sure. I'm going to go ahead and say he's going to make some more noise this year in conference. He's going to end up getting conference all conference first team. He might get AAC Player of the Year if we beat USF and that quarterback doesn't get it. I can't think of his name. Flowers, I think's his name. I don't think South Florida's as good as people think they are. I know they're 3-0. But I don't think that South Florida's as good as people think they are. I don't know. I haven't been impressed with them yet. I don't know. I think we're going to beat them.
I think we are too.
Maybe that's just my optimism. But if we beat them, we win the conference. He gets Player of the Year. Player of the Year in the conference. We win the AAC, and he goes to the combine.
Right.
And shows the way he can run routes and how quick he is and how lethal of a runner. He's, what people don't understand is the way he runs when the ball is in his hands. You know what I mean? He's not afraid of contact.
Not at all.
And he runs just lethal. I mean, if he had 20 more pounds and 2 more inches, he would be probably a top 10 pick. And he's not little. Don't get me wrong. He's not little. He's got perfect size for a wide receiver. But I mean, he runs like he's 240. Like, you better not get in my way. And
he does.
He doesn't really step out of bounds, I'll put it that way.
I'll take, yeah.
So.
Well, the other thing, Riley Ferguson, you and Josh probably know this. Was it UT and then a JUCO? Where did Riley?
He went to a big school. I don't remember where it was. I don't know why Oklahoma's coming to head. No, that's Tito Wyndham.
I thought it was Tennessee. I don't know why I thought.
Ferguson was Tennessee.
It was Tennessee?
Thank you, Josh.
Okay.
I thought it was.
I tell you what, they could use him.
Yeah, they definitely could.
Tennessee could use Riley Ferguson right now.
Never been a Jones fan. Sorry,
Yeah.
Josh. I don't know. But
Well, I don't think Josh, are you a UT fan or no? Are you claiming that? I see the flag behind you, but I don't.
This is not mine.
That's not yours. Okay. So yeah, Josh is. He's Memphis through and through. He's Memphis through and through. From what I know, you know.
And sometimes I support UT depending on the matchup.
Yeah, and I do too. I support the SEC. I want the SEC to win all of their out-of-conference games. Now, when they're competing against each other, if I had to pick one that I root for, it would be Ole Miss, and that's because they're closest to Memphis, and a ton of guys from Memphis go down there and play there. I mean, people are like, oh man, I hate Ole Miss.
Never happened. My brother said, I'd like to see Memphis play Alabama. We were laughing so hard about that.
No. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that.
It would be fun to watch.
It would be fun to watch, but we can't. We can't compete. They would just line up, give the ball to Bo Scarborough and the other guy.
That's right.
And throw when they had to.
That Vanderbilt game, that was such a low-scoring game.
Yeah, I was going to go 6-0 this week in my picks. I mean, I can't. When you handicap against
Vanderbilt, Alabama, this coming that weekend.
Right on Saturday, I was 5-0. Or no, I wasn't. I wasn't 5-0. I was like 3-0 because I had a couple night games. But I was the Vandy. I had Kansas State minus the 4.5, and Vandy pulled the upset. It was a 3-unit play. But that was all. That was the only game we lost. I mean, I had an unbelievable. It was a great week in all the winter. I went 2-1. I went 2-1 in the NFL against the spread with my picks. I went 5-1 against the spread. Actually, I'm sorry. I went 6-3 against the spread in college because I went into Saturday 1-2, starting out losing Illinois and Boise. Then we won Arizona late Friday. But then I went 5-1, almost 6-0 if Vandy doesn't win that game. But if is the biggest little word in the dictionary. So, but it's still a great week. Anytime you can go 5-1 against the spread. That's a big weekend for myself being a handicapper, and a big weekend for my clients. And so it was a good week. The Tigers won. The Titans looked great.
Yeah.
That was my one loss in the
Jaguars. That was
right.
Great.
1.5. I mean, I sat there and looked at it, and I looked at it, and I looked at it, and I'm like, we're only laying 1.5. I've got to make that a play. And then I looked at that total, and it was 41.5, and that was another one of my plays. I had the Titans, I had under 41.5, and then I had Oakland minus 14. Oakland won, Titans minus 1.5 won, and it was 23-3 going into the fourth. So the under 41.5 was looking great, and then they scored 27 points in the fourth quarter. Really unnecessary garbage points, but that happens. That when you bet on totals, that happens. Those backdoor covers happen against the spread when you lay a ton of points and when you take an under. Garbage points late kill you. Well, thanks for calling in, Dana. I'm going to touch on some other things. I thank you so much for calling in.
Y'all have a good one.
Absolutely, you too. So we talked a little bit about the Tigers, man. I'm so happy for them. They play Southern Illinois this weekend, which is interesting for me because my mother and father, Mike and Karen Benelli, had a lake house up in Marion, Illinois.
Okay.
And so SIU is in Carbondale. So I have a little SIU close to my heart. That's where my grandparents lived for their whole life. My mom's from Central Illinois. When I was a kid, I used to kind of say that I would maybe go to Southern Illinois when I was real young, freshman, sophomore, because I wanted to go up there and live on the lake at the lake house and go to college. I never did. I never really seriously thought about it. Thought about maybe playing football for them. That was a dream. And not really a dream, but a realistic thing maybe, because back then they were Division III.
Yeah.
And so that'd be cool to go watch them play the Salukis. I think we'll take care of business. And then the big games against Central Florida. The week after that, they rescheduled it. That'll get us in the top 25. If we can get past those two games, it'd be 4-0. We'll get into the top 25 and then really start to make some noise as we go in. That'd be a great way to start conference play. Get a win over Central Florida. I think that's exactly what. I'm glad that we didn't play Central Florida. I'll put it that way. I'm glad that we had a chance to kind of heal up the guys that were banged up from the very. We got beat up in that first game against Louisiana Monroe. One, because of the conditions. 3, we lost 3 guys to in the front 7. But our guys stepped up, played big. Depth was a concern for me. UCLA looked like the team that was tired. Late in the game, their offensive line was sucking wind by the fourth quarter. So that was good to see. A little bit about the SEC. We've talked a little bit about the SEC. That just there's so many teams down this year. You look at Missouri. You look at UT, Missouri, Texas A&M, Arkansas. I mean Florida. Florida's performing. They went on a Hail Mary. I don't know.
I don't believe it at all.
I really don't know this year. You got Alabama and Georgia, and and that's it. If that's not, can Florida still get into the SEC East title? Yeah, because they've got Georgia's number, and they've done it. They've done it the last 2 years, but Georgia definitely looks like the team in the East.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask, man. Do you think Georgia? I'd be shocked.
Well, Georgia just ends up always being Georgia, man.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter how good Georgia looks. Yeah. It's like Florida State. Yeah. Florida State, Georgia, Louisville. Louisville's one. They just do Louisville stuff. They just do Florida State stuff. They just do Georgia. I would say another word, but I'm going to say stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're their biggest enemy. And maybe this year something will change. But until it changes, something happens. They lose a guy. They lose some guys. They get bit by the injury bug. They turn the ball over in a game that they shouldn't and lose to a team they shouldn't. You know what I mean? They always lose a couple games they shouldn't lose, and then they lose one or two that they should. And that's been going all the way back to the Mark Richt days. It's like they're snake bitten. So I don't know. We'll see. But they look like the best team in the East right now. But a lot of teams look. The SEC, top to bottom, the bottom looks bad to me. And then LSU gets knocked off by Mississippi State. It's not even close. I had Mississippi State pick 6th in the West, right in front of A&M. I think I had them going 6-6, 2-6, and then they beat LSU. So that's another discussion. So is Mississippi State the contender against Alabama for the West title? Come on, man. It's not Auburn.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless Auburn has some, some huge makeover overnight or something. You never know. I think Auburn's done this before. Started out looking really, really bad, and then all of a sudden turned it around. I think, if I remember correctly, they have done it before, but I just don't see it, man.
I don't see it either.
Offensively, I just don't see it.
It's funny.
Which is weird.
Let's talk about snake bitten. I think a lot of these teams been bitten by the same snake evidently.
Yeah.
In the SEC. Even you talking about the top 3, Tennessee, Florida,
right?
South Carolina now with the injury.
I know, man, and I hate it because that was kind of my dark horse pick. I really wanted to see.
I agree with you.
And I don't. Yes, the injury is that significant. Yeah. Losing Deebo Samuel for the year was kind of the difference in that game against Kentucky, and it was it's going to be the difference in them doing what maybe I said they could. I said that they would start out good, maybe be a surprise team in the BCS. 6 games in, sitting at 5-1, 6-0, but without Deebo Samuel, all that goes out the window. Because Deebo Samuel, I picked to be the SEC Player of the Year, and he was on his way. I know we were just 3 games in, or 2.5 games in, but he had already scored a touchdown against Kentucky, caught a few passes, but they lose him for the season with a broken leg, and I don't know, unless they have somebody that I don't know about. So, we'll see what happens. The SEC, the bottom half is definitely looking kind of disappointing. Nobody's going to beat Alabama anyways. Nobody's going to beat Alabama. So, they rank supreme. In the NFL, I went 2-1 against the spread. We'll talk a little NFL. Falcons look good against the Packers. The Titans look good. Granted, we didn't really know what to expect against the Jags after that Week 1 performance that they put out. But I knew that the Titans... that line, 1.5, I looked at it for 4 days. And I just was like, I know Jacksonville won last week, but it's still Jacksonville.
Exactly.
The Titans are still going to win their division, in my opinion. I don't know. I just don't trust the Texans. I don't know.
Yeah,
I know they won 13-9 over Cincinnati, but Cincinnati's offense is terrible.
Horrible.
And I know Deshaun made some plays. I give the kid credit. But he's going to have some bumps in the road, man.
Yep.
I don't see Houston going better than 9-7. I think the Titans win. They go 10-6, 11-5. And, so that was it. We had Oakland -14 against the Jets. I think the Jets are definitely top 5 worst football teams to ever take the field in the NFL. Do you agree?
Yes.
They're bad.
They look horrible. Even though they tried to hang in there, I guess.
They tried to hang in there a little bit, but they got beat by 25.
Yes. That's the ultimate.
I mean, and I know the Raiders are good, but I don't ever lay 2 touchdowns in the NFL. Ever. Very, 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 very rare. Because that's a lot of points in the pros.
That's a ton of points.
And I made that a play. And that's rare for me. I usually like taking the points. I don't like laying a whole lot of points. I never like that. I don't like what can happen late. They pull guys out, and insignificant points can get the backdoor cover. But the Jets are terrible. And Oakland covered easily by 25. They did hang for a little bit, though. You're right. Beast Mode did his thing. He went ham on the sideline, dancing. I like it, man. I like the way he's out there having fun.
I love it, man. That's what's
out there having fun, like Baker Mayfield in college, taking the flag and stabbing it in the field. People don't like that. Well, you're a Buckeye fan, and that's fine.
Exactly.
I wouldn't like it too if somebody did that on my field. If Josh Rosen would have taken the UCLA flag, I probably would have jumped the block and gone after him. We were sitting at one point of the game. We were bouncing around. At one point of the game, a kick went through the net, and I got my hand on the ball when it went through the net. The guy ended up catching it, but if I would have caught it, I was going to try to throw it and hit him in the head. That dude is good, man. I mean, his throws were on the money. I know he made 2 mistakes, but he's a guy that doesn't make too many mistakes. But that kid is going number 1. He will be the number 1 pick. Watch what I say. Hold me to it.
I will hold you to it.
Hold me to it. Whenever he goes, he's going number 1. And I'm not just saying that because the Tigers beat him this weekend. I'm saying that because I know talent when I see it. I've always thought I could maybe be a scout or something. Josh Rosen, the chosen one, the golden child, I know exactly why they call him that now. That dude can throw the football, man. I mean, he puts it right exactly where it needs to be every single play. The only reason that he made the mistakes he made is because we did a good job putting pressure on him. We started to hit him. We started to shake him up a bit. And he's the type of kid that's going to try to make a play, and he's young. He's young. He's got learning to do, man. And he was on the road for the first time this year, and he made the 2 mistakes that were the difference. So, much credit to the Tigers, man. I said that would be the difference. I said the defense that would make the more plays would win the game. Now, I mean, anybody could say that. It's not like a wild prediction or anything, but I knew it was going to be a shootout. And I knew that the team that took advantage or made something out of the opportunities given by the other team, we gave them a chance. And then Emmanuel Cooper went out there and got it right back. I mean, that was huge as far as momentum shift. And I'll tell you another thing that I love what the nationally televised games do for your exposure and stuff. But, man, that game lasted long.
Yes, man.
The TV timeouts, in the sun, it was hot. That really draws it. It kills any momentum that you get. Those TV timeouts kill it, man. They kill any type of momentum. I never really realized it. I mean, I've realized it before. I was talking with Amanda on the way into the game. We were driving into the game, and I was like, I hope that the TV doesn't kill the momentum swings that when it's in our favor. Because we had a ton of those swings in that game, and it did. The TV timeouts killed the momentum. I wouldn't say it killed the momentum, but when you asked me about the crowd when we started the show, the crowd was good for what the crowd was. I mean, I think 47,200 something showed up. It was different than the Ole Miss game. There were 63,000 there. 25,000 of them were red. That's why that game was different. Out of the 47, I'd say 42 were Memphis fans. So that's a good showing for the Tigers, man. I wish more would come out for the game, but when you've got, Florida and UT on TV and Alabama, we're in the middle SEC country, so the fans that are not really diehard Memphis fans are just people that work for FedEx or AutoZone that are bringing clients to a game. Or, you know what I'm saying? The average football fan that would just be going to the game because UCLA's in town and the Tigers are playing. Not really that big of a Tiger fan, or they don't really care. They'll go there and go for them. They sat at home and probably waited for the SEC games to come on. It being on TV probably affected a little bit of the crowd. If the game's not on TV, I think we break 50,000. But it was still a good crowd. It still was loud in there. I'm so proud of the guys. I've been waiting all week to do this show. I hope the show was good. Tomorrow we'll talk a little bit more about the Tigers. The week ahead, I'm going to try to get some guys to call in. I've got DJ Palmore, the linebacker at Navy, that's supposed to be calling in this week. He was up for the Light Award, and he's up for the Buckets Award. Sports Hour with Ace closing out. I hope everyone has an excellent Monday afternoon. I'll be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Sports Hour with Ace. I'm your host, Andrew Vanelli, signing out. Peace. Thanks everyone for watching. Go Tigers, go! What do we got in here? I gotta do this quick, guys. Gotta do it quick, do it quick, do it quick. Ray, you see that hog back there? That ugly hog. Ray Parker in the house. Susan Day, thank you for watching. Dana, thank you for watching and calling. T-Free, what's going on, T-Free? Greg Lawrence, what's up, brother? Woody, you know what's going on? Nathaniel, what's up? Sandeep, what's up? Amanda, hey, thank you, baby. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for inviting, and thank you for watching. Norvell is a great coach. Great game. Ray Parker, Travis Bobo. Hey, Mom, what's going on, Mama? Hawk Pete, what's going on? Ray Parker, what's up? Brad French, Haley Richter. Hey, cuz, what's going on? Glad you're watching. Angela Hallen, what's going on? We'll talk this evening when I get to the house. Julie Kqpn, hey, what's going on? Amanda, Stephen Walker, what's up, Stephen? All day. All day, the party's this weekend, right? Brad French, Greg Walker, what's going on, Greg? Greg Walker's in the house. Thank you for all the hearts and all the love, all the likes. TJ Addis, what's going on? TJ's always in here supporting, man. Thanks for supporting, TJ. I appreciate it, man. Clemson, best team in the nation. That's what I said, man. You missed it. First half of the show. First half of the show, I said, I don't know how you don't have an argument for Clemson being, I agree, TJ. I said it in the podcast. We have a podcast. I said it in the podcast. And from what I've seen so far in 3 weeks in, Alabama looks great, but I think Clemson's look better. And when you look at the way they went on the road and beat the Heisman by 26 points, it's impressive, man. That is impressive. I think Louisville's overrated, Dana T-Free, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? You need to do a daily YouTube show, brother. Expand your horizon. TJ, I am. I'm on YouTube. My show is uploaded on YouTube. Go and subscribe. Andrew Ace Vanelli. Amanda, put the link for my YouTube down here if you will, please. I have a YouTube. I upload all my videos to YouTube. Please subscribe, TJ. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's brand new. I just got it, maybe a couple months ago. Really started using it a week ago. If it wasn't for Amanda, I don't know what I'd do. She knows how to do all the encoding and stuff. But she uploads all my videos to my YouTube channel. So please go subscribe. I need to get 100 subscribers. So then I can get, you need to get 100 subscribers in order to get paid for ads and stuff like that. So I'm definitely working on it, man. I'm definitely working on it. Candler Welsh, what's going on, Candler? Jason Howland, woo! What's going on, brother? A Hill, what's going on? I love you, Mom. Dana, thank you so much, Dana, for calling in. I appreciate it. Definitely need advice still. Okay, TJ. What am I? Did I miss something? Best four-man front. Oh, hey, between them or Georgia, TJ, Clemson, I think Clemson has the best front seven. I mean, they're unreal. And I knew going in, man, nobody was talking about Clemson. Everybody was talking about Florida State. Man, I was talking about Clemson. Just because they lost Deshaun Watson. Did you see Deshaun? That's what I meant to talk about. Did you see Deshaun Watson, Josh? He tweeted, Kelly Bryant's going to be better than me. Did you see that? I meant to say that Deshaun Watson tweeted during the Clemson game that Kelly Bryant's going to be better than him. So I agree, man. I think Clemson's the best. We'll talk, TJ. I'll call you, okay? I definitely do need to expand my horizon. Thanks, everybody. I got to run to work.
Thanks everyone so much for watching. I really appreciate all the support. If you like the show and you think maybe people need to see it, share it out. I would greatly appreciate that. And again, I love all the hearts, all the likes, and all the invites, man. I really appreciate it. You saw, okay, good deal, man, good deal. You saw that he said Kelly Bryant's going to be better. That's a bold statement coming from a guy like Deshaun Watson. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.